Indiana Veterans Memorial Cemetery, and we thought we'd bring you guys along. So I'm going to turn the camera around. All right. It is a beautiful place. I saw it from the side of the road. I've never been here before, but Aunt Lynn and I are stopping to check this thing out and pay our respects to our honor our service members. And yeah, just take a moment, catch all this, just taking a moment, taking pause, and we're gonna park. Let's see, where do we park at? Probably just right here. I think so. Okay. Do you want to walk with me? Yes, I would like to go. Okay. All right. We're gonna take a moment and walk. See this together. And just pay our respects. I probably am not going to say a whole lot of talking just because I think this is sacred ground. So this is in Madison, Indiana. This is the Indiana National Cemetery. And I just want to take my time to pay my respects to these heroes. Let's see, we're going to walk over here. Most of them are down the hill that way. Oh, these flowers. Hang on, I'm just going to pick these up. Here we go. Oh, another one has fallen. Let me pick this up real quick. I'm hoping this is in the right spot. There we go. Hello, our treasured home. We're at the Indiana Veterans Cemetery. We're just taking time to pay our respects. Aunt Lynn and I come from a huge family of veterans. Aunt Lynn is actually a veteran herself. My husband is a veteran, and we just think it's important to take time to honor these heroes. I'm sorry, I'm going to pick this up too. Let me grab that one. Let me grab this over here. Oops. Hang on, I'm going to set the phone down just for a second. Sorry, you guys are not seeing anything. just had to fix this. I think last night we got hit with some rain and things, and I think a little bit of wind. Let's walk down. You want to walk down to the... I guess we'll get back on the path.
Do you want me to just go this direction?
Yeah, we can walk this way.
Can they see from here the white crosses?
I'm not sure.
So quiet here.
It is. I've been to Arlington National Cemetery. I didn't get my way all the way through it. I was on a mission in 2015. We have friends who were looking for their friends, and they are in Section 6 at Arlington National Cemetery. And I was going there on behalf of the Elizabeth Dole Foundation as a Dole Fellow. And I had some time before my first meeting, so I ran to Arlington to go get those pictures. And when I was there was a mom sitting in a chair, and her son had committed suicide. He was an Iraq War veteran, and just her presence took my breath away, because I know what the meaning of freedom is all about. I know what sacrifice means, and I know what these wars do to these heroes. Let me just take just a second, you guys. I'm sorry. Hang on.
Very emotional.
This is not a very big cemetery.
I do believe this will be mine and my husband's final resting here. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's quiet.
This is a newer one. So this is absolutely beautiful and humble. Let's go over here. So my understanding, and I have to confirm this out, is that I can be buried with my husband in a national cemetery as well. Go Airman First Class. Bruce Thomas Pyle. Aunt Lynn, yeah. So yes. So I can be buried here. So the way that this works is the spouse is named on the back of the headstones. World War II. Korea. James Kirby Brooks. Sorry, let me head back over here. William Lee Freeman. Paul Vernon Tague, Airman Second Class, U.S. Air Force. Airman First Class, Leslie Edward Wright. Larry Joe Gabbard. Staff Sergeant Harvey T. Taylor. I'm sorry, I know the Air Force ranks better than I know any of the other branches, so I apologize if I don't want to mess up any of the other branches. Calvin Hilton DeVere, Tech 5, USA. So U.S. Army. So this is Tech Sergeant James Earl Crandall. Hi, Time to Grow. Richard L. Pruitt. Emmett C. DeVere. I'm wondering if these two are related. Robert E. Smith. John Lewis Maddox, Corporal. Stanford Harvey. Johnny Lynn. Airman First Class Charles E. Ward. Corporal Leroy Lakeman. Sergeant Anthony W. Garrett, Sr. Staff Sergeant Robert L. Risden. Airman First Class Wilma Jean Pate Cross. Oh, excuse me. Let's see here. Wife of Robert L. Cross, U.S. Air Force. So, spouses, we're both military. Corporal Victor Stacy Har. Tech 5, James Melvin Colin. Wayne F. Schuler. Sergeant Charles Robert McDowell. Otto William Cutter. Staff Sergeant Don L. Fisher. Miskowski. I hope I didn't butcher that name, but I apologize. Staff Sergeant Wilbur Etheridge Simmons. Mildred G. Turner, wife of Cletus Turner, U.S. Navy. Paul F. West. Now this looks like the new section here. Now keep in mind this is a new cemetery. I'm going to take you down here. I have a family member whose grandfather is actually buried out here somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where he's at. Let me just keep walking out here. He was buried here a few years ago. I won't read each of their names. This will take me all day. We'll take a moment. Ricky Frazier, Webster Columbus Meredith Jr., Go Big Blue. Sorry, U.S. Air Force. That's what we say. Go Big Blue. Lonnie Lee Ashburn, Herod N. Dixon, Joseph Walter Black, Maxie W. Warren, David L. Wright, Robert Lee Kelso. Hang on just a second, you guys. There we go. Ramona Ann Voris, Donald Ray Wilkins Sr., Ronald Sherman Dean Showalter, Lynn H. Clark, Harry L. Black, Airman Second Class, U.S. Air Force, Herbert E. Curl, Sergeant Army, John Chilton Stanley. Let me just take a moment. Thank you for your service to this country. I so proudly love to each of you guys. Thank you. You guys are not forgotten. Thank you so much. Go Big Blue. I'll tell you, being a military spouse and now a caregiver of a wounded warrior has been a journey I never thought I would ever go on in my entire life. I've been to Arlington. If you've never been to a national cemetery, go. It'll take your breath away. It's hard to describe until you go. Let me just fix these flowers. There we go. I just don't know what to say, you guys. Freedom is not free. I'm assuming these flowers came from over here. I am very strong. Oops, there we go. My husband got in before 9/11, and I've had to send him off to war a lot of times. And I'm very grateful he's alive. The last time I went to Washington, D.C., I was invited to the Marine Barracks for a parade. And the TAPS, if you know who TAPS, the organization is, they invite the children of the fallen to come out. And they honor these children of the fallen. And as caregivers with the Elizabeth Dill Foundation, we knew exactly who these children were as they walked in to the Marine Barracks in Washington, D.C. for this parade. And there wasn't a dry eye, because each child represented someone who lost their life in defense of this country. And for those who say that we live in anything less than the greatest nation, I want you to take a moment and think about the children, because this affects them. These children are growing up without their parents. Children of wounded warriors have had a hard life. My children have had to grow up with a very different dad for this country. We're not complainers. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying. Let that sink in for a minute. I'm very proud to be amongst heroes right now. Each and every one of these heroes. And I'm proud of each of my family members who served this country, or military spouses who stood by our service members, who loved them. Because it's not easy. And if you're a service member or a veteran on my page, or a caregiver, or a spouse, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your service and sacrifice to this country. Thank you for what you have done. I don't take that lightly. I mean that wholeheartedly, and I mean that sincerely. Thank you. I wish I knew where my loved one's grandfather was at here. I'm actually kind of scoping to look for him, because my loved one's grandfather served this country. He was an Air Force veteran. So I might just have to make a phone call. Kind of get an idea. National Cemetery, and you look look on the back of these headstones. If I can find one. Let's see here. Typically, that's a spouse that's been buried with their loved one. Or a child, I should say, or a child, because I've heard children can be buried with their parents if it's like a parent and child only. If you see coins, leave them alone. Just gonna scooch that up, make sure it doesn't fall off. A penny means somebody stopped by to visit them. And I can't remember what each of them means. One means that they know the person. Another one means that they served with the person. I'm sorry, I can't remember what each of them meant. This is just such a beautiful little cemetery. It's a new one. Walk back over here and see if I can. Let's see, I'm looking at dates. 2016, 14. I bet you he would be buried. If I find him, I'm not going to put him on camera. I think he's over this direction. Maybe. Maybe not. No. I don't know. Go Big Blue. Go Big Blue. Iraqi freedom. All right, you guys. Just take a moment, let this sink in. If you've not had a chance to go visit a national cemetery, highly recommend that you do. If you know a veteran or veteran's wife, or active duty wife, a caregiver, and a caregiver doesn't necessarily mean the spouse. It can be a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, a neighbor, anybody who's taking care of a wounded warrior. That's what a caregiver is. Please go up to them and say thank you. Freedom's not free, y'all. All right, I'm going to head out of here and just take my final walk. Have a great day, you guys. Thank you to our service members, family members, active duty, and our caregivers. God bless.